Welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And with me today, I have two special guests. We are here to talk about WWE2K18, the new info that came out earlier today. I wanted to wait so that everyone else who was originally there got their time in to get their initial discussions out and say what they had to say about the game. Link for them will all be in the description below. For TonyPizzaGuy, my man FP, Brian Mazique. Who else was in there? TonyPizzaGuy, Brian Mazique, Chris Denker, and I think that was it. And Pulse, I'm sorry. And CM Pulse. So those guys will all have their YouTube channels in the description below. Go watch all their videos. But I have another famous YouTuber on who presents WWE Games material, Town Nation. It's been a long time, brother. I think it's almost been a year.
Yeah, almost a year. I wouldn't say I'm famous yet, but, you know, thank you for the compliment.
We're getting you there.
I'm getting there, you know. Just hit 1,900 today, actually, so I'm getting there.
Right. Let's get this man to 2,000, folks, if you could. I will put his link in the description as well. And I also have another YouTuber here, KC Classic, does a lot of sports YouTubes. He's been doing an NBA series, which has been very interesting. Cam, what's up?
What's going on, people?
All right. Let's get into it because nobody knows too much about the WWE new info discussion. Here we go. I guess when everybody first got in, they were presented with a new infographic about the feedback project. It proves that 2K is trying to listen to the fan base. There were three things that were the most important that they realized that the fans cared about the most from the feedback projects from last year. Number one, the roster. Fans seem to care about that the most, and that had the most mentions and everything else with it. So the roster is very important. Two, creations. I guess that goes as far as Creation Suite. All of those were lumped into one. And three was match types, which were the top three feedback items. I give 2K a lot of respect for it. In one of the videos, someone mentioned 2K face scan system. It allows them to create past wrestlers for the 2K system, the way of doing things. They've been getting a lot of criticism compared to EA Sports. Cam, I know that you know a lot about EA Sports and their facial scan systems. Do you think that they're that much better than 2K's? Or because basically what 2K said to them, to the YouTube group that came there, was that the facial scan system, they could have had the one that EA had, but they chose this one so that they could bring in past people for NBA and WWE and other video games so that they can create the faces a little bit better, while EA seems to struggle to do things like that.
To me, I feel like with EA Sports face scans, the faces that they do have the ability to scan in look really good, but the ones that they don't scan in look nothing like the guys. So I think it's kind of like a give and take. So the face scan that 2K uses, I think it works in this situation because those guys that they can't scan in, you don't want them to not look like the guys at all.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Town, do you got anything for that?
Just I've seen both, you know, in action, and I know the process that 2K goes to get, whether it's the current day wrestlers or the wrestlers that they can't scan. I know the process that they go through to get them both in, and to work very hard on doing it. So it works in a situation like this for the WWE games. It's best for 2K to do it like this for the WWE games. So
all right, guys, let's get into, I guess they broke down the game into 4 separate sections, which was Be Like No One, Realism, Comprehensiveness, and Gameplay. Or I'm sorry, not gameplay, matches. Multi-person mayhem matches, I guess is what they were calling it. Let's get into Be Like No One first. That goes into the my player / my career element of this. We were told that there is a new progression system within the game now. So that should make things pretty interesting for what they can do. We have fighting styles now, which sounds a lot like 2K's Archetype System.
I've got a feeling it will be more or less like this. They had it in 2008, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
I was not a big fan of that. I don't know if I'm going to like this or not.
That's the downside. I don't think many people was a fan of it. So,
but maybe if it's done right, it'll work for a wrestling game. Cam, what do you think of the Archetype system? I know we play on the same Pro-Am team in NBA, so.
I feel like hopefully this is their way to kind of differentiate the characters. I feel like personally that's something that they have somewhat struggled with. So hopefully this is their way of allowing, you know, characters that are the same type of characters feel a little bit different.
Definitely, I'm with you. That sounded like what the plan was. Like high flyers will actually be able to do certain things that brawlers couldn't do, and et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see what happens with it. We don't know too much. More should be coming out about that once people get to actually play the game. Next up, we had all new experience from the FreeRoaming Backstage element will be returning to the Be Like No One town. What do you think of that? Are you happy to have that back? Was that something you wanted?
Yeah, I expressed it in the video I did earlier. I'm very, very happy about it. Because to WrestleMania back in 2011 when it wasn't chat to people, you can start. So implementing that into my career, that could be very, very good for storylines, especially.
I agree. Cam, playing the old SmackDown games, did you like the free roaming backstage? Is that something that you think can make a big difference?
Yeah, I think it helps with the whole experience, and it helps with just overall you feeling like you're an actual WWE superstar. You know, you just don't want to just be in menus and just, I don't know, it just kind of gets boring, you can say, just being in menus, flipping through stuff. So it's kind of cool to be able to roam around, interact with the other superstars. You can probably do a bunch of other cool stuff like you used to be able to do in previous WWE titles. So I think it's a good addition to the game.
I hear you. I think so too. I like that it's back in. The promo engine has a new 2.0 engine. There wasn't really too much said about what it will incorporate. Hopefully it's better than the last one. Let's see here. We got a new online mode for your My Players or created wrestlers, whatever you want to call it, which is called Road to Glory, but no one's sure exactly what that is yet. And they asked if online was better, and no one really gave a definitive answer. They said, we're working on it. So, you know, that's going to be the first comment in every tweet for YouTube, from YouTubers to everywhere. Fix your trash servers, whatever. That's what is usually the first comment. They do have new match type menus for match creators. It sounds like, now, Town, you could probably correct me more if I'm wrong about this. I think it sounds like match creator is returning, where you can put all these different rules that you want in there, and then it will show up in the menu for the match type you created.
Yeah, you're correct about that. So say if you want a blue steel cage match, for example, you can go to create a match and you can actually put the blue steel cage yourself in a match, and say if you wanted Inferno inside the blue steel cage, you could probably do that as well, because the options, by the sounds of it, and trust me, I know.
I like it. We will also have the free cam ability to come back. Some of the YouTube creators are loving that you can move the camera all around the arena instead of the limited positions that we have. And that's probably something hopefully that gets added back in the NBA for people like Shady and all the other guys who make the hype packages or video packages for things. And it'll probably help you too, Town, for your universe mode that you have going on your channel.
Oh, it definitely will. And even like highlight reels and stuff, or even create a video, it'll come in handy for. So there's so many options you can do with it. It's crazy.
We get to the next element, which was realism that they were going for. There is a new graphic system, gentlemen. They basically go through how the lighting's different, the cameras are different, and everything else. There is a new commentary team of Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves. JBL and the King are removed. Not that anybody is going to miss that commentary that we've had for the past few years, but it sucked.
It did, to be honest.
Yeah.
Going back to the graphic system just for a second as well. The example they showed is Randy Orton in 2K17 to Randy Orton's 2K17 model under the new lighting system in 2K18. And by the sounds of it, it looked like a completely new model, but it wasn't. So
Right.
the lighting system must be vastly improved. But the commentary team, I'm very, very happy with. Corey Graves is one of my favorites right now on the current commentary team in the entire business. And having him on commentary alongside Byron Saxton, they have, I know, redone all the lines and recorded all the lines. So that'll be fantastic to hear. Hopefully it's not as repetitive. And hopefully I don't need to turn it off like I have done in 2K17. So
Yeah, and I definitely had the Randy Orton thing on there. Stole my thunder, but that's all right, Town. You're the man. It looked like they're also trying to recreate the crowd right now, was another thing I heard from them. And Cam, I want your opinion on this one. They have sound profiles that are different based on arena size. So maybe in the NXT arena, you'll be able to hear one fan shout something like, "Oh, you suck." But at the WrestleMania arena, you're not going to be able to hear that because the crowd is much larger and it's a different arena or venue for it.
Yeah, that's something that's very cool. That's stuff like that is the stuff that I kind of notice, and I definitely think it is another good addition to 2K18. Yeah, that's a great addition. I like that they're really getting into the details and nuances of venue sizes and just of wrestling in general.
Yeah, that was one of the better things here. So let's get to the comprehensive aspect of it, which is like roster, universe, and backstage brawling and things. The roster, and I'm going to use finger quotes here because that's what people were using, is by far the biggest roster ever, and they will have an August reveal for that. We also have Backstage Brawling. Is it online or not, Hayden? Because I heard different people say different things. Like one person said it is, someone said it's not.
1v1 is online, but anything more isn't.
Got it. So 1 versus 1, Backstage Brawling appears to be online. The backstage area is 3 times larger now, and they've added loading docks and garages, and there's more interactable objects within it. Sounds pretty cool. I like that they've expanded upon something that we already had in the game. Universe mode. I know that we are all pretty much big universe mode guys as far as playing it. Well, I shouldn't say Cam. Cam has some issues with it, but universe mode has an expanded story system now. They got rid of the 4-on-1, which are the 4 weeks and then a pay-per-view. They now have brand split support, whatever that means. Altercations lead to altercations, which lead to feuds. So I'm guessing something has to happen with like Dean Ambrose and The Miz. They have an altercation, and they'll have another one, and then all of a sudden now they're in a feud. And they're going to face each other across multiple pay-per-views. And another sad thing was the draft. There is no draft in the game, which is kind of sad, showing us how that was such a big deal and hyped up on TV, but you can edit the rosters like you used to. What do you think, Hayden?
I mean, like, some parts of it is disappointing, like the draft system, like it isn't a GM mode, because that'd have been absolutely incredible. Like, is the right time to bring it back. So, I don't get the logic behind that, but I don't know. It's very vague on the universe mode, especially this year. Having no draft and basically being told you've got to do it yourself, that's disappointing to me. And it makes it feel like they're not making many improvements to universe. Yeah, there might be the promo engine. Hopefully the promo engine has actual voices from superstars this year. I know, like, when it was Jacob Cass in WWE 12, Austin Aries did the voiceover for that. So, like, for your created characters, I hope you have the option to choose your own voice of what you want, because that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm 50-50 on it, really, to be honest.
Cam, what do you think of the new universe stuff that we just talked about?
It sounds good, but I feel like universe mode is just always one of those modes that it's always feel like it's lacking something, and what it can in its full potential just isn't there yet, in my opinion. Like, I still feel like universe mode can be so much more than what it is. Whether it's bringing in something like the GM aspect and having that be an option, because obviously everyone wouldn't want to do that, but it just feels like there's something lacking from universe mode still.
And like they said, that wasn't they haven't revealed everything. There's got to still be some surprises and stuff left for the future, I would hope. But let's get into the gameplay. The carry and drag system have been updated. Hayden, if you got any more to chime in on this. The only thing I put down was putting a wrestler over their shoulder to set them on the turnbuckle or set them on maybe a table. They changed it versus dragging them.
So, yeah, in 2K17, you just dragged them by the neck, and let's admit it was an absolutely awful animation. But for 2K18, when you press L2 and R2 on the PS4, LB and RB on the Xbox, what? Don't hold me to that one. To drag them, you basically place them over your shoulder. Now, you can do many things with it. You can turn it into power bombs. You can turn it into suplexes. You can turn it into moves. You can put them on the turnbuckle. You can toss them outside the ring if you really wanted to. There's so many options with it that you can do. The moves, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of moves you can do with it. But, yeah, I'm very, very happy to hear this, to be honest.
I fear if what you said is true about the moves, that could be abused online. I'm just thinking of exploits as soon as I heard that.
That's kind of like how I was feeling about, not to cut you off, but that's kind of like how I was feeling about it. Is if you're, because I know with the drag system you're not really able to reverse out of it. So if you're on someone's shoulder, the defensive guy, what will you be able to? Will you have options to reverse, or will they eventually get tired from carrying you around, like stuff like that?
Yeah, I do feedback for 2K, so trust me, I know this shit. But the one thing is your stamina drains. So carrying around for too long on your shoulder, it will either place a superstar down because your stamina's tired, or you get weak to the point that they can do a move on you.
Okay.
And the other thing is, what was I going to mention? There was another thing. Stamina and
was it going to be the selling when wrestlers will now sell in the corner?
Yes, it was. Thank you for that one. So selling, that's another thing. You've got to take a big beating, like a combo, for this to happen. It's not just after one move, unless, again, your stamina is really down. Injuries dependent, especially in my career at the moment. It sounds like injuries are coming to my career with, it can be 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. You basically simulate it, and then you get back into the action. So you don't miss much in the My Career Mode 4 injuries, but selling in the actual gameplay, it's either on the map, but they'll sell for a long time. If you're near the corner, you'll go into the corner, sell your move or what body part's been attacked. If you're near the second rope, they'll sort of sit against the second rope and sell against that as well. So they're improving the gameplay mechanics, trying to make it more realistic as ever, is one of the catchphrases. So
yeah,
I just want to see these. I just want to see these features in action more than anything, and see what they actually look like.
I'm with it. Hopefully you can get to one of the events that are coming up near you in August, September area. We got online right now. So online, we have Backstage. They basically explained in one of the videos how Backstage is hard for them to do. So it sounds like it should be 1 versus 1, according to several people that I spoke with on YouTube and comments and everything else. We have improving the community search. That must happen. When me and Cam were talking the other day, he was getting guys for one of his modes, and he types in Jeff Hardy, and all of a sudden he sees like Vampiro and all these other guys popping up. He's like, no, I just want a Jeff Hardy. I don't want all these other people. And he's got to search through and sift through everybody.
Exactly. I was doing the same for the UK division in my universe mode because I needed way more UK guys. So I typed in UK tournament and progress because that's one of the main brands in the UK. And, you know, things like Darth Vader and Peter Griffin come up. And I'm just like, that's not what I asked for. You search certain things to get what you want, not to get the exact opposite.
Yeah, so hopefully that will be improved. They basically wanted to sound like the Google of doing this. You put it in, you get exactly what you're looking for, and they're trying to make improvements towards that. And someone did ask the famous question I know Cam wants to know, will we have dedicated servers? And they said not this year, but they are looking at it for the future. So hopefully that has some faith right there. Cam, what do you think about the dedicated servers possibly for 2K picking them up?
To me, it sounds like they are trying to focus somewhat online. I don't know if they're gonna go as far as what they're doing with their NBA series, and like having a monetary aspect in there. But you definitely I definitely think they're gonna jump on the wave of making this a more online game than what it is. Because kind of right now, you just hop online, play your matches, and that's about it. Outside of you're obviously in a league or something like that.
Which I'm still sad that those are not in. Please, 2K, pick me for the online designer job, and I will make sure that leagues get in.
That's what I was about to say, you know. They may say stay tuned because of that online designer job that went up. So maybe that's been one of the things that's heavily been featured, because what you've got to think is Mark Littell said this in the interview with GameSpot. I've read that article. And they've got to basically decide features like 2 years in advance to get them in the game. And that's the difficulty of having an annually sports release title. So for WWE, they may have decided to put in 8-man tag team matches, for example, 2 years ago. You know, they decide 2 or 3 years in advance, and then they work on each sports title to try and get them in the game. So Backstage Brawl last year, it was a great introduction back, but it was vague. This year, they're adding much more. They'll have planned that 2 years ago.
Right. And I have faith in 2K right now that they're trying to rebuild this franchise and take it into a better way. A lot of other people seem to think that they're ruining things. I think they're making it better, and I think that they were left in a tough situation picking up what THQ already had and all the behind-the-scenes garbage with that. But the last section, guys, we're going to get into matches, which was the multi-person mayhem. We now have 8-man matches in the game, Cam. I don't know. I don't think we've seen that since Just Bring It. It's been a real long time. 8-man matches. That includes ladder matches, Royal Rumble, 8-man tag, Battle Royal. And they said that there is probably going to be no 8-man online, which I'm totally fine with for right now. You don't need all that at this moment. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like, yeah, once they get the server thing down and they're able to see how 8-man matches work offline, they could tweak it for the next year and find a way to get it online. But just to throw it right online right away and it cause a bunch of problems, be a bunch of bugs with it, it's just gonna be a total disaster and a total waste. So I'm completely fine with it not being online this year either.
That's the thing, and what you've got to think is a lag that already happens online in one-on-one, let alone multi-man matches. So having 8 people would be absolutely chaotic. But offline, we've wanted more people in that ring for years now. So it's not quite the traditional Survivor Series match, but we're slowly getting there. And it's a great feature to add in. And I know they're not doing 8-man Elimination Chamber, because that was asked, but you'll have that noted somewhere, so I'll let you continue.
No, that's fine. And PS3 and Xbox 360, I'm not going to lie, they are the reasons for this. I'm sorry that people had to lose it. I know that there's a couple people who follow me that were PS3 holders or Xbox 360 holders, and they message me privately saying, "Oh, I'm so sad that I can't get the game." Guys, save your money up now and try and get the PS4 or an Xbox One, whatever you want to do, because I think that this is a better game, and it's time for you guys to upgrade the upgrade your graphics and everything else. It'll be much worth it, because I felt those systems were holding the games back a little bit, in my personal opinion, and that's with every game company that puts those out still. We were also told about a revamped Royal Rumble, new AI physics. I will kick it to you, Town. I don't know if you have anything else different to add about the Rumble, or if you know anything else.
So smarter AI. So say you've got American Alpha in there, which is you got Braun Strowman, Daniel Bryan, and Bray Wyatt. They're right in front of me on my pot vinyls. That's why I said that. So Alpha will work together as a tag team, so they won't attack each other. They'll work together as a tag team to eliminate the other guys in the Rumble match.
Yeah, so you'll see people joining up who are teams. Usually, I don't know what that means towards the end, if they're going to turn on you or what, or how that's going to work out. But
I wonder that myself. What happens if they're the final two?
Got to go at it. We will also have the new Elimination Chamber in the game, which I'm very happy to say. It was before WrestleMania, but so we'll have the new, I guess, do we call it like the square Elimination Chamber? The different pods that they have now, and it'll have the new setup and look for it.
Please have entrances in Elimination Chamber.
We've been asking for that since the beginning, since Here Comes the Pain. Good luck with that. Cam, what do you think of this information so far? For the
from what I'm hearing so far, I like the information. I like that they're trying to go in a more realistic direction. I like that they are trying to make the product relevant and up to date and current. And they are, even with the stuff like the Elimination Chamber, updating that, getting that into the game, updating the Royal Rumble, all that stuff. It's kind of like the things that have that were added into the game a while back. They're finally able to bring some life back into them, like the Elimination Chamber, like the ladder match from last year, like the Royal Rumble, it sounds like, from this year. So I like that they are, those specialty matches, they're able to rejuvenate them and bring some life into them.
Yes. The soundtrack will be curated by someone else. It will not be Roman Reigns, confirmed, as someone asked. How much of jerks are people to ask that question? Well, it's not Roman Reigns, right? So Roman Reigns didn't do the soundtrack this year. And we also know that Kurt Angle is the pre-order bonus, and we should see that trailer on Monday Night Raw upcoming after WWE Great Balls of Fire. Speaking of Great Balls of Fire, I will have a video up today for my predictions with Lucas Lamke. We will give our predictions on the video. Won't be as long as this one, but make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to check it out. Go ahead, Town.
What I will say about Kurt Angle's pre-order bonus, he did announce it early. It was meant to actually be revealed today, with the pre-order going up on the 10th, as usual. But Kurt Angle being Kurt Angle, yeah, he tweeted it out early, didn't he? So that got announced much earlier than it meant to be.
He's Kurt Angle. He can do whatever he wants. But Town, I know you probably put your money down on the game. Are you getting the deluxe version, collectors?
I need to upgrade. I'm getting the collectors. I've put the pre-order down on the normal edition because it didn't have it when I went to pre-order. So I need to upgrade, but I will do.
And Cam, what do you think about have they convinced you to put $5 down with the information released today?
I feel like I still have to personally hear a little bit more, but then at the same time, I'm not as big as a wrestling guys as you guys are. So once I hear a little bit more information, from what we got so far, I definitely do think that this is great steps in the right direction. So it's not that I'm disappointed with the information. It's just more of the fact that I'm not as big into the series as others may be.
All right. Well, I thank you both for coming on the show. If you guys want to plug your channels real quick, please do that for me.
Go for it.
Go ahead, Cam.
Yep, you can find me at KC Classic 7, all one word. Do a lot of sports, video game videos, stuff like that.
Excellent.
And mine is Town Nation. Recently changed it about 6 months ago now from WWE Town Nation to just Town Nation. But it's full of wrestling content, nearly at 1,000 videos, and nearly at 2K subs. So if you can get me to 2K, that'd be fantastic. I do appreciate it. Uploaded recently my WWE2K18 info and thoughts about it, just like this one. And thank you for having me on. I've enjoyed it. So
most definitely, Tom. And guys, do me a favor. If you like the video, Macho Man Randy Savage, that like button for my man Macho T. Also, do me the favor of leaving a comment down below. What are you excited about? What disappointed you today? What did you want to hear more on? I left the links for everyone else who were the original sources of the information down below. And click that subscribe button if you like the content. And gentlemen, I have to thank everyone for coming on, everyone who watched and tuned in live. We are out. Peace.